Hello everyone, this is FotR's Landwalker, and tonight we have another exciting episode of Star Trek Online. For those who are new to the stream, I've been using a representative for the Romulan Republic to go through the game content, and we have gone through an entire year worth, that is to say, in-game year worth of content, leading up to the official, I'm not going to say treaty between the Klingons and Starfleet, I'm going to say more along the lines of a ceasefire, helped out by, of course, an Undine attack, otherwise formerly known as Species 8472, on both the Klingon and Federation capital worlds. That nothing helps cement an alliance like an attack on two of the biggest governments in the Milky Way galaxy. That said, we are now in the year 2410. We have gained access to the Delta Quadrant, and we are now about to begin a series of episodes that was packaged together as the Delta Rising expansion, which got a lot of heat at the time for an assortment of reasons. And I'm not going to really go into them because I'm not done talking yet, Commander. It's nice to be able to shut them down like that. It's petty of me, but such is life sometimes. Before we get started, we will take care of some of the administrivia for the character. Namely, some reputation. I have completed one of my Terran Task Force reputations, and that gets me halfway to Tier 2, but I still have enough marks to try to get the rest of the way. And this really ought to do it, because this will give me 5,000. This requires 10,000. I'm halfway through. Do the math. And we're going to do the same kind of thing for the temporal defense. However, the difference here is I don't have enough marks to do the next grouping. I'm going to grab the project here. I'm going to fill what I can right now. But I am just a wee bit short when it comes to temporal marks. This is not a big deal. I will be getting plenty enough of them later on down the line. I consider this just a preview of future events. Alright. I don't believe I have anything else I can work with here. I don't have marks for anything else. Oh, I do have counter-command marks. Oh, right, because I got Undine marks by the last mission. So why don't we go ahead and fill that one up too. That'll get me to Tier 2 next time. Unfortunately, we are done with the Dyson Sphere marks, so we are not going to be seeing Tier 4 completed any day in the near future. We certainly don't have enough to kick any further for the Romulan reputation, although I'm at Tier 4 there now, so getting Tier 5 would be gravy, and that's not going to happen anytime soon. I've never done anything for the Nukara Strike Force, and that's maybe something for another time, perhaps. No Borg-related stuff. That usually tends to come from the special task forces, like Infected and the like. And certainly nothing for Discovery Legends, which is further down the line. Way further down the line. I do not believe I have any specialization points left over right now, although as you can see from up here, I am pretty close. 11,209 specialization experience points away from getting another point worth. So, that much is right with the world. Now, the fun thing here is there are a group of endeavors that are on my list, and amazingly enough, 2 of them involve plasma damage. And I am flying with a Romulan Republic character. I think there's an excellent chance that we will be getting both of those endeavors knocked out today, and it's possible that those will bring me some reputation boxes that I can apply, and maybe I can start buffing a couple other of those reps. Maybe. Alright, that takes care of the administrivia. We are in the Jenolan Dyson Sphere, specifically at the Delta Quadrant Command. This is where we are going to be considering the hub for Delta Rising. Or as they're calling it in the episode arc here, Delta Quadrant. I guess they got rid of Delta Rising because of the, shall we say, meme-worthy comments about the expansion back in the day. With all that out of the way, now we can talk to Commander Mina and see what she wants to tell us. It's time to get to work.
Admiral Tuvok has requested that you meet Voyager in the Solarian system. I believe he requires your assistance with a personal issue. While you're there, you should be able to get a briefing on the current state of the Delta Quadrant.
How's that? Nice, simple, brief briefing. Yeah, I can't believe I said that either. Note that this is a single-player mission. That means you cannot team with other players to play this one. That kind of mission tends to happen a lot. We get the usual experience and expertise rewards, as well as dilithium ore, and a fluidic anti-proton assault dense beam weapon. This is a ground weapon, and well, it's just kind of self-explanatory, isn't it? It does appear to be marginally better than the weapons I'm using right now. I am kind of uncertain, though. No matter, no matter. We'll see how things work out as we go along. I get it anyway, so I'll probably let somebody use it. So we need to go to the Solarian system. So we're going to return to the ship. And into the interior of the sphere. Now luckily, we have some fairly obvious buttons on the lower right here. Exit Jenolan Dyson Sphere. Never really noticed the shadow of that gate before. I am still flying my Bajoran Interceptor. We'll see how well it holds up to the rigors of the Delta Quadrant. Now tell me if this looks familiar.
It's been 32 years since Voyager finished its journey.
We thought we had left the Delta Quadrant behind us.
We were wrong.
The gateways to the quadrant are open.
And the choices we made have long-lasting effects. Now, we will help the friends we left behind.
And fight the rising darkness.
Voyager's first trip through the Delta Quadrant was a solitary one.
We must return to set things right.
This time, we must unite to survive.
Oh, what's this? Someone wants me to become famous. Wow, that's really generous. I'm touched. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I've always wanted to be famous. Yeah, right. Oh boy, sometimes I wonder about these people. As you have undoubtedly noticed, there are a number of familiar voices coming up in this series of episodes. While the folks at Star Trek Online had flirted a lot with bringing back actors a bit at a time to reprise their old roles, shall we say, Delta Rising was really where they went hog wild at it. They pretty much brought just about everybody back. I mean, they didn't quite get everyone. They didn't get B'Elanna Torres. They didn't get Admiral Catherine Janeway. They didn't get Chakotay. But they got pretty much everybody else. So, with that in mind, we're going to go to the Solarian system, just like I've been saying repeatedly here. Now, as you can see, we have a whole different set of maps here for the Delta Quadrant, and it seems kind of like a straight line sort of thing, doesn't it? And when you think about it, it makes a bit of sense, because the Voyager was trying to get back to the Alpha Quadrant, and they kind of took a kind of straight line. It wasn't really straight, but if you wanted to map a general direction, it was effectively straight. The Solarian system consists of a binary star with 4 uninhabitable Class N planets and an outer Jovian body. No attempts have been made to settle this system due to its harsh conditions and proximity to Borg space. Here's the Voyager.
Greetings. Admiral Tuvok is waiting for you in the conference room.
Now, as you'll see quickly, this episode is less about the Delta Quadrant and more about tying up some very significant loose ends. Let's talk to Lieutenant Commander, shall we?
Welcome aboard, sir. If you'll come with me, I'll take you to Admiral Tuvok. He wants to see you right away.
Mind if I ask a few questions?
What would you like to know?
Why me?
The Admiral is trying to track down Dr. Cooper. He thinks that Cooper is the key to this conflict with the Undine. He hasn't explained why yet, but he says that your assistance is crucial.
And there's that loose end I was referring to. Cooper is like a hangnail that you just want to yank out.
What would you like to know?
What's the situation in the quadrant?
Unstable, but not totally out of control. The Borg have suffered setbacks on multiple fronts. They're being pressed hard by the Voth, the Undine, and various liberated elements. The Voth are mostly bottled up in their home space and in the Solanae Dyson sphere. We've established some connections with a few of the locals, such as the Kobali and the Talaxians. Of course, there are still troublemakers out here. The Kazon, the Hirogen, the Malon, and there's a new power player we're very concerned about. Whoever they are, they're picking off systems left and right. Even the Krenim weren't a match for them. We need to find out who they are and what they want.
Voyager tended to make a lot more enemies than friends on
What would you like to know?
You know that this is a 30-year-old ship? Of course, I feel kind of silly saying this, given the variety of ships that are in the game, but all the same.
Voyager spent 7 years in the Delta Quadrant, and during that time, many of her systems were optimized to deal with the hazards out here. This old girl's still got a few tricks. Besides, Admiral Tuvok specifically brought Voyager out for this mission. And what the Admiral wants, the Admiral gets.
Bureaucracy in action.
What would you like to know?
Let's go.
Sorry we don't have time for a tour, but the Admiral insists he needs to speak with you right away.
Oh, let's not keep the man waiting. Right, you're in the way, Commander. And there he is. Not exactly in uniform, is he?
Greetings. Thank you for coming so promptly. We do not have much time, and I require your assistance.
What's happening?
I am still under telepathic assault by the Undine we know as Cooper. He has found some means to greatly increase his psionic power, and I cannot withstand his assault indefinitely. I will need your help to repel Cooper's attack and counter him.
Sounds stressful.
What else do you need to know?
What do you need me to do?
I have been able to deflect Cooper's attacks thus far, but I require assistance to repel him and gain any useful information. I propose initiating a Vulcan mind meld through which you will be able to enter my mind and aid me against Cooper.
Is that wise?
What else do you need to know?
Isn't there someone who, Well, I would ask... Actually, I can't ask, because, while my character is telekinetic, she is not telepathic. So, yeah, isn't there a better person here?
Your prior experiences with Cooper should allow your subconscious mind to hone in on him. An outsider who has never encountered him before would have no such connection and could never hope to find him.
Okay, you've convinced me.
What else do you need to know?
I just love how he says that. What else do you need to know? If a Vulcan can get cranky, that is the sound of a cranky Vulcan.
My mind to your mind. Your thoughts to my thoughts.
Okay. So the question now is, where am I? Ooh. Creepy atmospheres. And lots of omega symbols. That can't be good. Omega particles were tied to those Dyson spheres in some ways that we really never got an explanation for fully, because we didn't get the tier 5 reputation in the Dyson sphere reputation. Like I said, sometimes I feel like locking crucial information behind those reputations. Okay, it's not technically crucial, and I'll even spoil it because it's never going to happen with this character most likely. The omega particles are how the Dyson spheres can move through space, basically jump to other locations. That's why the Nolan sphere is in the Delta Quadrant now, as opposed to where it was when the Enterprise D found it. So that's that in mind. What's going on here? No sign of Tuvok. I'm all alone. Well, this looks like it's a sick bay. Let's get out of here. And it's locked. Okay, let's access the console over here. I'm not expecting much, it's got the Omega symbol on it. Also locked out. But hey, there's always a chance I can get an emergency medical hologram working. And there he is, the Doctor. Not to be confused with the Doctor who goes in the TARDIS, but rather the Doctor of the USS Voyager. Although he isn't necessarily part of the USS Voyager nowadays, because, it's been 32 years. And again, this is Tuvok's memory, so...
Please state the nature of the medical emergency.
Yeah, I'm locked in. Can you open the door?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, shall we? First, I need to make sure you're not contagious or suffering from any injuries. This will only take a moment.
Yeah, I just need to get to engineering. Well, honestly, anywhere other than here would be fine.
Don't be difficult. I'm only doing my job. Engineers and captains, always in a hurry to get out of sickbay.
Oh, right, it makes sense how we talk about engineering. I'm an engineering captain. Sometimes I'm not all that quick. Doc, I gotta get out of here, huh? I need to find Tuvok.
You're not going anywhere. Doctor's orders.
He is sounding a little menacing, isn't he? Oh, okay. Kid gloves are off. Luckily, I seem to be well armed in the mindscape. So let's demonstrate being well armed by
Can you hear me?
nuking them.
Come speak to me at the desk terminal.
How about that? Tuvok's calling.
The mind meld was successful. Excellent.
Is it?
I am currently trapped in the ready room. For the moment, I will only be able to communicate with you remotely. Cooper is working to subvert my mental defenses, and I must focus my concentration on keeping my mind intact.
So it sounds like I gotta go to from here to your room.
No. Cooper is trying to erode my emotional control. Symbolically, this means that he must destroy Voyager. To do so, he is attempting to overload the warp core. You must proceed to engineering to stop Cooper from destabilizing the warp core. If he is successful, he will have broken down my mental control systems. Once the core and my mind are protected from Cooper's attacks, then we can take control of this mindscape. Take the pad from the doctor's office. I will use it to communicate with you as you proceed.
Now I could ask why not the communicators, but we're in a mindscape. I'm just gonna listen to the expert and do what he says.
Good. Now we will be able to remain in contact. Proceed to engineering.
Well, the door opens nicely now. Whoa. Whoa, what the?
Cooper is attempting to subvert my mental defenses by replacing my memories with engrams from his bioship. Until he is expelled, these kinds of incursions will continue. You may see strange items or distortions in your surroundings.
No
Ignore
kidding.
them and proceed as best you can. Remember Kiri Kinthaw's first law of metaphysics. Nothing unreal exists.
Vulcan philosophy. Ugh. Okay, well. Is there anything this way? There is not. And I suppose if I were paying that close attention to my minimap, I would have realized that. Oh, at least he's got random crew members wandering around. Not that any of them have been helpful or anything, but... Ah, turbo lift.
Cooper is trying to overload the warp core. You must keep it stable.
Something weird ahead. Wait a second. Okay. We seem to have a minor problem here. Reminds me of a scene from Goldfinger. Bond is driving that Aston Martin down the hallway, sees an oncoming car in the darkness, headlights are blinding him. He decides he doesn't want to hit him, turns away, smashes into a wall, never realizing that what he was looking at was a really big mirror. Bugs Bunny would have been proud.
The mindscape is a simulacrum. Cooper may move elements to suit his needs, or try to stop you. Certain areas may be blocked or damaged, or even transformed. Do your best to reach your destination. Cooper cannot simultaneously attack an area and conceal it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Not. You know, I don't remember this being here. More Omegas.
What are you doing here?
Oh, another civilian. Not civilian. Another memory. Ensign Kim. Now, I gotta tell you, Harry Kim got robbed during that season. that series. He was an ensign when he joined Voyager. He was an ensign when the series ended. Come on, the guy deserved his promotions. Even Paris got to... Tuvok got promoted, I'm pretty sure. Paris got demoted and promoted. So he basically had a net... He broke even. Actually, he broke ahead, because technically speaking, he wasn't even someone with rank originally, because he was kicked out of a penal colony. Tom Paris is also someone who did not show up for the Delta Rising arc. However, that does not mean he does not make an appearance later down the line. At any rate, let's talk to the Perpetual Ensign.
What are you doing here? This area is very dangerous. The core is unstable.
Where's the chief engineer?
Vilana, I don't know. She should be here, but as far as I can tell, everything on Voyager is about to fall apart, and I'm the only one here. Stay back. I'm going to put a force field around the core while I try to stabilize it. It won't contain a core breach, but it might block some of the radiation if the magnetic stabilizers give out.
I'm a pretty fair engineer. I can stop the breach.
I've almost got this. Just keep back. It will only take a few more minutes.
Now, you know, on one hand, he makes a point. On the other hand, I sense that he might be kind of like the Doctor was.
You are stupid, aren't you?
Ding, ding, ding!
Only people the Vulcan melded with should be here. Not everyone on Voyager is part of Tuvok's warped little subconscious. Some of us are far more exceptional.
Yeah, go away.
I'll destroy you, and Tuvok's mind with you.
I don't think so, Ensign Kim. I don't care how long you were monkeying around on Voyager. I've been fighting the war.
You
He has
can't
raised
stop
defenses
this.
to protect himself. Use one of the engineering consoles to press your attack.
Okay. This one looks like a likely possibility. Let's lock in the safeties, shall we? And let's make sure my health gets back to full before I re-engage. You know what? I'm going to take advantage
Get
of...
out.
Raised defenses to protect himself. Use one of the engineering consoles to press your attack.
We're going to prep the battlefield a little here. Alright. Perpetual Ensign.
Quickly use the controls to restore the warp core. This will strengthen my mental defenses.
Ooh, oh, that.
Excellent. With my mental defenses stabilized, we should have additional time to fend off Cooper's intrusion. Head to the crew decks. Inside of my memories exist fragments of personalities from any person with whom I have previously experienced a mind meld. You may be able to find someone whose personality is not wholly part of my mind, and thus not susceptible to Cooper's influence.
Oh, just how many people have you melded with, Tuvok? Actually, don't answer. Whoa. Yeah. Thwarting his efforts, ignore his distractions, proceed to crew deck.
Move through the crew decks to your right. You may be able to find a fragment of a personality who can help. People with whom I have previously melded have left impressions of their Katras in my mind. You may be able to convince one to assist you. Because they are not technically me, Cooper's ability to subvert them may be limited.
I'll keep my eyes open. Let's hope that we don't have anything else weird happen. That was a good one, wasn't it? Nothing else weird. Oh, okay, we got somebody here. 7 of 9. Relative latecomer to the series. She replaced the character of Kess, and, well...
What is happening? What am I doing here? Who are you? I require specifics. Answer me.
Did I mention she used to be a Borg? Technically, I guess she still is. You could say that she is the prototype of the liberated Borg that we see so many of, mostly in the form of lifetime subscribers to the game. Voyager's in danger from species 8472. We need to liberate Tuvok. He's being trapped in his ready room. Help me.
I have no reason to trust you, but this seems familiar somehow. Why am I in the crew quarters? I should be in my regeneration alcove.
Here, have a pad. Talk to the guy who knows the answers.
7. You are currently experiencing an engrammatic regress as a result of a Vulcan mind meld. You must assist me in reasserting control over the meld. I am currently locked in the ready room next to the bridge. Exercise caution as species 8472 has subverted the vessel.
Happy now? Can we go? Whoa. Okay, so we have a door over here that doesn't work, and a door over here that does work, and...
That is Borg technology. But the presence of the collective will not dissuade us. Assimilation is irrelevant.
Now there's a quote you never expected to hear. Assimilation is irrelevant. Don't let the Borg hear you say... Oh boy. Let's hope they all stay asleep. No, that would have been too easy. Drop the bomb.
Assimilated indeed. Maybe a reflection of the unconscious fears of species 8472.
It wasn't all that long ago. It almost happened. Okay, it was a weird one, but at least this time I didn't see any bioship stuff. Hey, we made it to the turbo lift. Get inside.
Oh, you're here.
Cooper.
Let's just get this over with.
Yeah, you didn't impress me before. You impress me less now. Let's get a few extra guns. Okay, just one. I've got duty officers that'll give me a chance at dropping multiple turrets, but sometimes it don't work so good. More guns I've got going. Oh, that's not good.
While you release Tuvok.
Well, the good news is Cooper's down. Bad news is I must have been inside an area that was causing a damage over time effect that was not good. Okay, now we... Well, you weren't kidding when you said you were trapped in here. Let's see if we can get you out of there. Tuvok?
With Cooper defeated, he should no longer be able to maintain the telepathic link with my mind. For the time being. We must end the mind meld and consider our next course of action. Now that we have removed Cooper's influence, it is time to break the link between he and myself.
Sounds good. How do you do that? Oh, I guess that was the easy part.
With Cooper's attack temporarily halted, we are in a position to slow the advance of his Undine forces. Please accompany me to the bridge.
Lead on, leader man.
We still do not have a fix on Cooper's whereabouts. I will contact Starfleet for any current information about Undine movements. Use the sensors to check for their quantum signatures. Voyager's sensor array is currently calibrated for tracking Undine movements, so you should be able to garner results quickly.
Okay, sounds good. I'll grab the sensors. Ah, there we are. Old, Perpetual Ensign Harry's old station. It's amazing how many things I can remember from the day. That's not good. Why do we have the Omega coming up here? It probably should not be hard to figure out what's happened here, but, you know, let's play it through, shall we? You may have noticed there's a big honking Omega symbol everywhere.
You should return to your ship. While I am somewhat fatigued as a result of the mind meld, I believe that I can continue in my duties on Voyager while we plan our next steps.
Yeah, about that.
We must still be in the meld. Cooper is trying to deceive us. He needs to break the link cleanly, but lacks the strength to confront us directly.
Now what?
You don't belong here.
Oh, apparently now what is we need to start beating the tar out of people. Let's not ignore my defenses this time. It's not often where I'm shooting at Starfleet, but... Tuvok, is there anything you'd like to tell me?
We should use the link to our advantage. If we can track Cooper through the link, we can then pursue him in the physical realm. Since the Mindscape deals in symbolic representations, we need a map to his location. We should proceed to astrometrics.
Alright. Is this the door? No, it was not. I wasn't paying that close attention to which door I came in, sorry.
Cooper is trying to block your progress. Look for another path.
Don't you mean our progress? I mean, let's. This is your ship, and whoa, this wasn't here before. Isosphere tech. Yeah, definitely wasn't here before. Yeah, no kidding. Oh, and what do we got over here? Looks like The Walking Dead. Whoa, it is The Walking Dead. Tuvok, tell your brain to stop hitting us.
In 2375, Voyager encountered a malfunctioning board vinculum that had been turned into a trap by species 6339. This vinculum caused other personalities from the collective to surface in 7 of 9. I entered a mind meld with her in an attempt to stabilize her personality. These people are echoes of the personalities of people assimilated by the Borg. They are not truly aware, knowing only that they desire to escape. It may be helpful to think of them as ghosts, metaphorically speaking, of course.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Unfortunately, my ghost-busting weapon is, definitely MIA. I should probably open up these boxes at some point. Ooh, and it looks like somewhere along the line I finished up my, rare endeavor. Unfortunately, my damage down here still needs work, and I'm also making progress towards the defeat captains. I'm kind of doubtful I'll get to that one. I don't know how many captain-level opponents I'm going to be dealing with. Cooper definitely qualifies, though. Okay, let's see. Will this door open? Yes, it does. Awesome.
Cooper is attempting to distort your path again.
And it's another
Keep
brick
searching.
wall. And, whoa. That Bajoran? No, I have no idea what that is. But I imagine these guys are going to start jumping us in a minute, so I might as well be ready for Evil Dead. Well, they're no Cooper, that's for certain.
I sense we are making progress. Keep searching.
Aren't we? Because we keep hitting brick walls, but you know, everything starts moving around so frequently around here. Well, that way doesn't look good. And we've got a little accolade. Cute. Doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't. That's probably why they call it, you know, imaginary. Hi guys. Mind if I ghost bust you with something else? Like that. Okay, let's see. Unlock astrometric slab. Okay, engage manual unlock. Manually unlocking. Oh, what the? Charge flume capacitor. Generating flume. Yeah, we're definitely... Descale herring! Descale herring. Recouple the decoupler. I think the writers were having just a little too much fun with this section. That sounded just like an egg tiger fish. Okay, let's track Cooper. Okay, let's check these memory grid things. This one, location of the previous meld was 7 of 9. That's not consistent with undeeded forms. Let's try the next one. Soberus. Traumatic mind meld with crewman Lon Suter. That was a little bit before the undeed. Well, options are getting a lot more limited here. The Class 17 Nebula in 2373. Tuvok had the engrammatic virus. Melded with Janeway. Found out about his time with the Excelsior. Gotta be getting close here. Ooh, look! A new one just popped up here. Memory of the Necrotic Expanse. Near an unstable corridor the Undine used to make incursions. Ding, ding, ding! Logic suggests that this would be an ideal location for them to use as a fleet staging area. Okay, we're done here. Yeah, that's a bug here. You'll notice that I've got Tuvok, and I've got Tuvok. And this has been a bug for a long time, which means they still haven't fixed it. There we go. Luckily, eventually number 2 goes away, leaving us with the new and original Tuvok.
This ordeal has taxed me mentally, but I must continue the mission. I have learned that Cooper is in fluidic space, in an area that corresponds to the location known in our dimension as the Northwest Passage. We must travel there and enter fluidic space to confront Cooper once more. He is aboard a special command bioship that he cannot abandon. If we catch him in fluidic space, we can force a final confrontation.
Are we certain that this is real?
Please join me on the bridge. I must focus my concentration on regaining my strength. I need you to enter our destination coordinates and make certain that there are no more surprises.
You mean like another Omega symbol popping up and showing us that we've gone a dream within a dream? It's Voyagerception. Let's enter in coordinates.
Voyager will join you in the Northwest Passage. We'll leave as soon as you've returned to your ship. We need to hurry if we want to catch Cooper.
That sounds great. I'll be glad to go back into my vessel. And more importantly, start dishing out plasma damage to
This
things.
area of space was labeled by Commander Chakotay as the Northwest Passage. It is a corridor of space that the Borg avoid because of the high incidence of quantum singularities, which the Undine use as points of transit. Voyager encountered the passage in 2373, and Captain Janeway chose to use it to travel through Borg space. This precipitated our first contact with species 8472.
So, what next?
We must locate a quantum singularity that will lead us into the correct area of fluidic space. My suspicion is that Cooper is using this region as a staging ground for the massed Undine fleet, and his command bioship will be there as well. Approach each singularity and check its quantum wave signature. When we find the correct one, we will pass through.
We'll probably have to engage Undine ships too, because they're probably not going to be too thrilled with us poking our noses in. Still, this one seems like it's pretty clear. Oh, wouldn't you know it, scanning game. That one's too unstable. Keep looking. They've gotten a lot of mileage out of that scanning mini game. All right. Oh, right. I also recently picked up the ability to use those mines, so let's see how that works out. Not nearly as impressive as I was hoping it would. Oh, we're certainly dishing out the plasma damage quickly. There's one thing cannons can do, is dish out damage. Alright, now that we've cleaned out that group of Undine, let's see if this singularity will get us to where we want to go. Any time now. No, does not work for us. More bioships and oh, looks like I'm passing through the blobs. Voyager's engaging already. So impatient. And that takes care of the plasma damage. 2 out of 3 of my endeavors are done. Is it possible that I'll be able to, I know. I wonder if Voyager counts as being, team. We'll have to see if I can use a hull repair on it. No, looks like it does not. Okay, let's scan this singularity before it does weird things to my ship.
This passage will work. Quickly, we must go through the portal.
Works for me! Zip, zap, zoom.
We need to reach Cooper's command bioship. According to my scans, he is using a modified dreadnought as a control vessel. Intriguing. Cooper's bioship appears to have nerve clusters, gyri, and structures typically associated with brain matter. While most bioships are organic, they are not aware. Rather, they are biological tissue operated by the Undine as tools. Cooper's vessel is different. It is possible that the ship is self-aware.
So, in other words, we might irritate the ship by trying to do something to it.
This would explain the increase in Cooper's telepathic abilities. Not only is his command bioship able to coordinate the entire Undine fleet, acting as a brain for the other ships, but it also amplifies his psionic power. We must gain access to the ship directly. We will need to temporarily disable its shielding mantle, so we can fire upon vulnerable sections to disable it.
Well, this is going to be good.
You've come a long way, but as you can see, I am not unprepared for your arrival. This command bioship is unique. It is capable of coordinating an entire fleet of bioships. A fleet that will launch from the structure you see here. Even if you attack me, I suspect you will find the sheer power of my new fleet to be overwhelming.
Uh-huh. You know, you're not the first one to have claimed stuff like that. odds are good that you won't be the last either. Or to put another way, want to play? Let's play. You know, it is possible that I'm not using those mines to their proper effect. Okay, I think we've disrupted something. Let's help out Tuvok a little more. Go mines. Aw, man. I had them. Oh, you know what? Voyager can keep working on that. I'm going to slap the command ship silly. I was hoping that the mines would go for the command ship, but it seems like that's going to be a big negative. Taking some hits. Get out of dodge. Too many of these blob things are sucking down the hull. Let's take it down. Oh, good. Voyager was supposed to have dealt with him by now. Miracle Worker again. Okay, Voyager seems to have fallen down on the job, so that leaves me to take care of the rest of the garbage out of here. Oh, there you are. Where have you been? It takes a real special kind of stupid to think that my tracker repellers are going to work on something that big.
The command bioship is weakened. You must beam aboard and locate Cooper while it is possible.
Well, that's a promising sound. Let's beam over. And it's never a good sign when it takes this kind of time to load everything up. I'm going to try not to take that personally. There we go. Once we get past that magic 30% number, it always seems to go so much faster.
We are close to Cooper's position.
Oh, look.
The bioship is blocking transport in the area closest to the central nexus.
Too.
We must find control nodes that will allow us to enter the nexus. As the ship is organic, We may be able to force it open by sending impulses through certain nerve endings, thereby causing a reflex reaction, much like a sneeze.
Sounds great. Where's the black pepper? Nasty looking place, isn't it? Oh, nuts. The ceilings. I keep forgetting that these guys crawl like spiders or xenomorphs. Let's not ignore the possible weak stuffs. Oops, there's more. I knew it was a good idea having a Jemadar replacing Tobin Kev. At some point I might find something different, but for now... Enter Control Nexus.
The muscles controlling this passage will not release. We will need to find control ganglia we can use to trigger a reflex response and open the door.
No problem. Do we have a king-sized feather around? Tickle, tickle. You know, this is eerily mechanical-like. And again, this is supposed to be biomechanical. Oops. More surprises. Motion detector's going. Dun, dun, dun. It's like being in an Aliens flick. Blood fleet is tasty. Tickle, tickle. I was really expecting an ambush.
Cooper should be in the chamber just beyond this door.
Say, if this thing can think, can you kind of convince it not to fight? Can you mind meld with it or something?
An intriguing notion. I shall make the attempt. You must protect me from Cooper and his soldiers while I concentrate on the mind meld. When you are ready, we shall proceed.
Yeah. If I recall correctly, this part is pretty rough. And there's our boy Cooper. Okay, looks like he brought reinforcements.
The ship is resisting the meld. I must move to another neural cluster.
That's not the kind of can-do attitude I want to hear from my Vulcans. Oh, guess who woke up? Fall down, Cooper. And yet, it wasn't enough to take him out. 30's not enough to... Ooh, shinies! Yes, even in the midst of lethal attack, I must scan the shinies.
You must protect me from undine attacks.
Yes, yes, but let me finish scanning this harvestable. Oh, hi there.
You must protect me from undine attacks while I concentrate.
Yes, I heard you the first time, Tuvok. Get busy.
The ship is resisting the meld. I must move to another neural cluster. must protect me
Oh,
from
hi,
Undine
Cooper.
attacks while I concentrate.
Didn't we get rid of you already? Here, let me help you too, Locke. Oops. Let me help myself too.
You
Where's my
must
cover
protect
shield?
me from Undine attacks while I concentrate.
Oh, Cooper went on the wrong side of the shield. Oh, I'm on the wrong side of the shield. One of these days, I'm going to get it through my head that maybe, just maybe, I should consider having some hypo sprays equipped. Just for, you know, little emergencies like this one. Oh, I'm not even going to get credit for taking him down either, am I?
What is happening? You did this!
My mind to your mind. Your thoughts to my thoughts.
Well, well, well.
Why should we listen to the weak?
You will perish when the Iconians complete their purge. To the Iconians, you are weak.
We must survive.
When we fight one another, we are weak. United, we are strong.
No! Don't listen to him! We must see to our needs.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
The many must survive.
I think we have an accord.
We don't need them.
The many will be strong. The strong will survive.
They are weak. I will save us.
You are weak.
Ooh.
What?
Ooh.
Together, we are strong. You will be repurposed.
No!
I'd like to say I was sorry to see you go, Cooper. That would be a lie.
The Bio-Dreadnought has no intention of entering our space. Now we must return to our ships before the Undine retreat to their own fortresses in fluidic space.
Right on, but first, let us not ignore the fact that we have some new stuff to get. Ooh, and he did count as a second captain. Awesome. Let's return to the ship.
The Bio-Dreadnought has no intention of...
Yes, yes, we caught that part.
There are no signs of Undine pursuit. Whatever the intent of the remaining Undine forces, it seems that they do not involve our dimension. As a Vulcan, I am not given to personal displays. Nonetheless, we have shared a deep connection. We will always carry a part of this experience with us. In a sense, you have become a portion of my mental defenses. Part of the ship and crew that define the most challenging aspects of my existence.
I want to try not to take that personally. Yes, I'd help define one of the most challenging aspects of your existence.
Our shared effort has prevented another Undine invasion, and incidentally allowed me to retain my sanity. Your contributions are appreciated. I must advise Starfleet Command of these developments. I am sure we will speak again. Until then, I am confident that events in the Delta Quadrant are in capable hands. Live long and prosper.
All true. Traditional farewell of the Romulan Republic. And the Romulan people in general. The Romulan language. You know what I mean. We're ready to leave. Not a moment too soon. Hopefully the Undine will no longer poke their nose into our business. Let's contact Delta Command.
With Cooper gone, the Undine won't have a leader pushing them toward war with our forces. I wonder why he was so set on this conflict. We still don't know exactly how long Cooper had been replaced by an Undine, or if the original Cooper is still alive. Perhaps this Undine saw something during his time among the humans that convinced him that the only way to secure the safety of his people was to destroy ours. We know the Iconians have manipulated the Undine before. I guess that they were the ones pushing Cooper to attack. Good thing we dealt with it now, before they launched another attack on Kronos.
Spoiler alert, we never see Cooper again. Although you never know. As a different series would tell you, always in motion in the future. So let's grab our XP, our expertise, our dilithium, and our fancy fluidic beam weapon.
Congratulations, Admiral.
And conveniently, I get another specialization point. But first, let's check weaponry. This weapon is an exploit weapon, so I'm kind of inclined to give it to someone who makes use of that sort of thing. Unfortunately, the guy who would make use of it is currently using his own exploit attack. He's using a cultural weapon. So perhaps I will simply hold on to this for now. I'll give it to Lauer for now. And somewhere along the line, perhaps he will get promoted to the point where I may use him as part of my away team. After all, who I have now may not be who I use always. I believe I did mention the future is always in motion. But for now, let's go to my specializations and go to my command officer specializations, and let's go a little further here. Well, I can go with this extrovert thing, which gives me extra XP per player on the team. That's no big deal personally, but the other stuff here might be useful. So, you know, open the door and prepare for the future. At some point, I'm going to start unlocking things in the pilot chain here too, because it'll help my turn rate, and that could be helpful too. But that is for the future. We will take care of one more thing. We're going to hit our various reward boxes here. Photon torpedo launcher, don't care about. Photon mine launcher. Okay, that I kind of care about. Let's take a look at the mine laying abilities we've got here. Right now we're using a Mark 12 Chronoton. And here we've got a biomolecular photon mine, which, by all appearances, will hurt more. So we'll use that. We have 2 Endeavor boxes. One gives me lots of energy credits. Yay. The other one gives me a mark package. We'll come back to that later because I don't know what mark I want to grab. But as you can see, I have just about all the types I can choose from. I will have to give some consideration. In the meantime, let's go with the next episode of this arc, Reunion.
Our first task in the Delta Quadrant is a familiar one. Helping a species to find a new home. A group of Talaxians living in the Entaba system are ready to move to a new homeworld nearby. Admiral Tuvok and Voyager have gone ahead to their main asteroid base to begin the preparations for the transition. The Admiral has requested your presence as well. You two work well together. I recommend you take advantage of his expertise. There's no one who knows more about the Delta Quadrant than he does.
Well, certainly nobody who's readily available at any rate. Standard rewards, XP, expertise. We'll get an Expert Universal Research Tech Upgrade item. Now, I actually have a few of these, and I'm getting to the point where I might actually decide to start using some of them. Because I am near the top of the chain for the rank of equipment that I'll get from missions or drops. At this point, the only way I can make them better is by using these upgrades, and they'll also cost dilithium. I don't have a huge amount of dilithium, but to be fair, I haven't really been trying. Still won't be. But that's a future project. Also, I get to choose between one of 3 consoles, all of which are Mark 13s and Purpley. Very rares. And all of them have pretty attractive aspects. I don't think I'm going to go with the torpedo damage one. I don't think I'm using a torpedo. I am using a torpedo damage one. No, I'm not. That's beam weapons. No, I'm using 2 Ooh, I still have this transphasic projectile weapon one. Okay, well, guess what? I think we've got a winner here. The torpedo damage to replace the useless transphasic. No, I'm actually using the transphasic, aren't I? I am. It's not useless. I don't. Well, you know what? Maybe I will grab the other one, the science one, because I'm still using. And you may have noticed this when looking through here. I am still using a Mark II science console. Mark II. Come on! Oh, you also notice that I've been quietly increasing my Starship masteries. If I can manage to get to 5 here, I'll get the Starship trait Carrying Maneuvers, which will do some nice things. But for now, I've got increased defense and increased accuracy for as long as I fly this ship. All the Tier 6 ships have little details like that. So, Intaba system. Where is Intaba? Intaba is too far. We're going to transport there. These missions are long enough without adding the transit time right now. If I were playing normally, I would take the long way, but why inflict that upon people doing the screen here? More than 3,000 Talaxians have settled on an asteroid base in the Intaba system, where they use the asteroid's geothermal energy to melt the ice covering the surface, providing oxygen and water for the residents. The Talaxians of the colony have been sending out trade and survey ships for more than a decade, searching for an uninhabited M-class world that is similar to Talax. We have arrived in the Intaba system. Our orders are to rendezvous with Admiral Tuvok on Voyager, setting a course to their coordinates now, and it looks like they have problems. Kazon Raiders. For those unfamiliar,
Voyager is under attack by the Kazon. Engines are offline. Requesting assistance.
For those unfamiliar, the Kazon were literally the first opponents encountered in Voyager. Well, unless you count Dakota and Monkey, but I don't. And that was, technically speaking, the Talaxians were the second in the series, although they only had a singular representative there. We'll just toss off a few mines as well as our heavy artillery. That's right, guys. Come chase me. They've become shy. I'm hurt. I guess I'll just have to give them torpedoes instead. That's right. Fly in that direction. Look at those mines do their job. Although not nearly as good a job as I'd hoped. The Kazon have the distinction of being so worthless that even the Borg do not want to assimilate. Because they feel it would take them away from their planned perfection. That is pretty sad. When even the Borg don't want you, that says it all. Oh, come on, Kazon Raider, I'm setting you up for all these mines. The least you could do is get in range so they whack you. There we go. Hey Voyager, what's happening?
Thank you for your assistance. We were en route to the Talaxian base when we were ambushed by the Kazon. The damage is relatively minor, but my crew will require time to make repairs. However, I have a personal request. The leader of the Talaxian colony served with me on Voyager. Would you be willing to take me there?
Sure can.
This base is populated by Talaxians. My shipmate from Voyager, Neelix, joined them before they moved to this location.
Now, an
The
interesting
Talaxians
question.
have been looking for a new homeworld for quite some time, and now they have found one.
Where Neelix ended up at the end of Voyager
The Alliance's history with
was
the relocation of
pretty
the
far
Romulans will be
away.
invaluable in this process.
pretty far away from where the Kazon operated. And Voyager had a few shortcuts that shaved literally years off of their time. Now, granted, it's been 30 years. The Kazon could have come through here naturally.
A Romulan ship? How interesting. I've never
Technically, this
seen a
is Bajoran,
Romulan ship
but-
before. I've heard about them, of course. And once, my friend the Doctor was even in a battle with the Romulans. And there was that time that a Romulan scientist visited our ship. Listen to me rambling on. My name is Neelix, and I serve as Starfleet's ambassador to the Delta Quadrant. Before that, I spent 7 years on the USS Voyager with Captain Catherine Janeway. Perhaps you've heard of me.
About 5 minutes ago.
No matter. I've always been curious about the Romulan people from what I read on Voyager's database. See, my link to the Alpha Quadrant wasn't as strong as I wanted it to be until the Janolan Dyson sphere opened a path straight to the Delta Quadrant. Now, we get all sorts of news, and I'm so glad to hear that unpleasantness between the Empire and the Federation is over. I'm planning a trip to Earth sometime to sample the cuisine, but that will have to wait until after the colonization. I barely have a minute to myself anymore. There's so much to do.
Yeah, about that.
Oh, you've come to help? How wonderful. It's nice to know Romulans are just as helpful to people in need as my good friends at Starfleet. Of course, well, the one Romulan I met during my time on Voyager tried his best to help the crew, even if we were a few years out of temporal alignment.
The colonization.
Oh, where are my manners? You must be tired and thirsty after your long journey. Come to the colony. We'll fix you right up. But if I could impose on you just for a small favor first. The Kazon Nistrum have been giving us a lot of trouble lately.
Yeah, the Kazon come in tribes. And the Nistrum have a history.
The Kazon keep knocking them offline, and all my shuttles are prepping for the colonization. Could you reactivate the shields for us?
That
Wonderful.
we can do.
Just fly to the generators and start the relaunch sequence. It will take them a few minutes to get up to full strength, but that shouldn't be a problem. After that, beam down to the colony. I'll start making some nicely old root stew for you.
Okay. Straightforward enough. Repair work is certainly something we've done in the past, and something we will undoubtedly do again. Minimal damage on that one. That's good. Kazon wiped out the EPS conduits on that one, but we got that one fixed too. And moving on to the final contestant. All repairs complete. Shields are back online.
Thank you so much for your assistance. You may beam down to our base at your leisure. Oh, and speaking in my formal capacity as permanent ambassador, welcome to the Delta Quadrant.
Thank you. Be down shortly. Yes, please.
It's so good to meet you in person. View screens are so impersonal, don't you think? May I shake your hand? If memory serves, that's how. Mr. Vulcan? Is that you, Tuvok?
Indeed. It is agreeable to see you again, Neelix.
What a wonderful surprise. Come,
Honestly,
my
you
friends,
gotta
we
figure
have so
those
much to
two
discuss.
probably never figured on seeing each other again. Given how far away the Delta Quadrant and Federation space is apart.
You look well, Neelix.
As do you. Family, children. Being here has changed me for the better.
Indeed. This colony is an improvement on your previous home.
Twice as large and completely updated. You should see the kitchen.
Did anyone mention that Neelix was a chef on the Voyager at one point?
But you still
most
seek
of it?
a new homeworld.
That's one of the reasons why he's so fixated on the food.
Of course, children need sun and open skies. A place to put down roots.
Oh,
What was that?
that didn't sound good. I thought we'd fix those shields. Sir, the Kazon returned almost as soon as you transported down. We drove them off and they got a lucky shot into the base before they left. Sensors showing some structural damage in the operations bay.
The operations bay? Dexter was in there.
Whoa.
Dexter's trapped. Please do something.
Okay. Okay, we can fix this. Transporter room? Site-to-site transport, please.
Dex is a little dizzy, but she'll be fine. I have to stay with her, though. I'm afraid I must impose on your kindness again. Several of our systems were damaged in the attack, and I can't help fix them just now.
Sure, what can I do?
Several of our systems are malfunctioning. Our communications, environmental controls, engineering, and the controls for the crane loading our ships all have been damaged.
Hey, Water Otter. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. So far, so good. We're currently involved in the Delta Rising story arc in Star Trek Online, where we're basically not exactly retracing the USS Voyager's trip in the other direction, but we're going to be seeing a lot of familiar things here. Didn't know I played Star Trek Online? Oh yeah, I've been playing Star Trek Online since, well, pretty much since open beta actually, so that would be a long time ago. And I've had my ups and downs with the game, but I did pick up the lifetime subscription way back in those beta days, so it certainly paid for itself many times over, even if you account for the days of that I went free to play, because it was subscription long enough for it to pay for itself. Now the Kazon from Voyager have been beating up this facility, so it's time to start fixing the damage. And since I'm an engineering character, one would hope that he would be good enough to do exactly what he's doing. Fix the place. If I can find everything, of course. Ooh, this looks bad. Okay, looks like we have a number of things to deal with here. First problem is power. So we're going to reroute the power to the secondary relays and hope that's the right decision. Okay, that's good. Second, electroplasma flow. Okay, let's monkey with the plasma flow rate. Isolinear chip matrix. Okay. And then finally, we can yank out the fuses. Well, that was a little more challenging to fix than the last console. Now we've got something going on over here. I believe it's a crane. It looks like it's going to require a little more creativity to get to. You remember reading about Star Trek Online in PC Insider magazine when you were in school? Yeah, the game's been around for over 10 years now, so this game has been alive probably longer than some of the players who were playing it. Well, maybe not. 10 years old would be a little rough. Repair the crane. Now this kind of jumping platform I can handle. If I were trying to do the crazy platform jumping that exists in places like, say, I don't know, Cluster Prison in Star Citizen, that's a little rougher, but this I can handle. Okay, I've got one more place to fix, but I'm not entirely sure where it is. Oh, let's see if my scanner will tell me a direction. Somewhere in this direction. Ah, looks like there's a turbo lift over here. Up, and there we go, all the way in the far side here. Okay, optimal range is 8.4 terahertz. I'm presuming it's terahertz. So let's drop it down to where around. There we go. Lock it in and fixed. Not exactly complicated. Okay, time to head back down and say hello to Neelix again. And see how he and Tuvok are getting along. Well, I see they still haven't vented this area from the smoke.
Thank you so much.
Started
Everything
playing
seems to
just
be
before they
working
brought in the
properly
playable
now, and
Romulan
Dex is
faction.
feeling much better.
Played until the
I need
Iconian
to take
story
one
got
final
rolled
lap
out.
around the base and speak to a few people.
Yeah, the
before we
Iconian
depart.
storyline was
Would
pretty
you
much
care to accompany me?
grand finale of years and years of build-up. Of course, then the question became, what next? And we'll get to that in, well, given the rate of I'm going through these episodes, probably February? Quite possibly February. Okay, take one final lap around the base and speak to a few people before we head out to check out the theoretical next homeland for the Talaxians. Yeah, there's been a lot of changes since the Iconian War. DS9 got a major revamp. It looks a lot more like the DS9 of the TV series. And there's a substantial amount of content that's occurring in the Gamma Quadrant at that point in time, too. And I'm not even going to try to predict when we'll get that far along the line. It's a ways out yet. You know, I feel like I've gone the wrong direction here. I thought I was following Neelix and company, and the truth is they were following me. Except the lads.
Hello. I'm preparing the most wonderful feast to celebrate the
You love
colonization of our new
DS9.
homeworld.
Best trek they ever made.
We need to gather spices.
I've kind of put them on the same,
Talaxian
generally
spice
close to the
stew.
same level as the original
I'll
series,
need
and I kind of waffle
ranganzo,
between the two at any given
stiff
time.
basil,
I was a big
and
fan
some
of that
lemon
series.
Sea salt. I'm sure if you ask around, someone will have them.
One of the things I kept waiting to happen in Star Trek Online was to see the return of Ben Sisko. But apparently he's still with the Prophets, even now. Even though we're in 2410. And I can't recall when the switch over to 2411 happens. You need spices. Okay.
Isn't Chef Jolax great? He's a good friend, and his falada onion crisp is superb. We're traders. A lot of people have spices. But I bet Alex, Brexa, Wixon, and Maxon can help.
Okay, well, this must be Maxon.
I haven't seen anyone like you around here before. You must be one of those visitors from the Alpha Quadrant. How are you enjoying your time here? Tried the Jabellian berry salad yet?
No, I'm kind of looking for spices at the moment. Got any?
Ooh, is Jolex cooking? I can't wait. Give him this Spith basil. Spice stew isn't the same without a little Spith.
You know, that
Max's
sounds
food
a little
spicy.
too much like
I'm
Spit
throwing
to
amber spice
feel
to
comfortable.
Paraka wings.
And for all I know, maybe it is. It's probably best I don't look too closely.
Hi
Our
there.
next contestant.
Are you enjoying your stay in the Delta Quadrant? Is there anything you need?
Spice, strangely.
Certainly. I have a bottle of Ranganzo from my last trading trip. I was saving it for a special occasion, and today certainly fits.
Talaxians are a warm and generous people.
That they are. One more spice to hunt down. All the way in here. Let's put a little more hustle on. The sooner we get the spices, the sooner we can, you know, get the migration going. Warm and friendly, yes, but
Hello.
they take stalling to new
You must be
levels.
one of Neelix's friends from the Alpha Quadrant. Thank you for repairing our shield generators. Is there anything I can do to help you?
Got spice?
My mate gave me a bit of Prishik last Prixin. Would that help?
Yes, thank you.
Alex is like a mother to all the children here. She always has a bit of candy in her pockets for them.
Now we can deliver the spices to the chef. And that will be that. And maybe we can get ready to, you know, move on out. No, I gotta go around the long way. No, I don't. Oh, right, turbo lift. This map can drive me a little crazy.
Hello, friend. Are you looking for something?
Oh, that's not the chef. I need more spice.
All I have is some Nimian sea salt. Do you need it?
Yes, that will be
Wixon,
fine.
He's a reliable guy. You might even say he's the Nimian salt of the earth.
Boo! Boo! We will overlook that, Neelix, for the sake of intergalactic diplomacy.
Oh, thank you so much. I'll save you a bowl of stew.
Sure, I'm good with spicy food. Hotter the better. Astrometric scientist, who, of course, is up the turbo lift again. That'll teach me not to pay attention. I could have taken care of all this at once.
I need to scan the route we'll take to the colony. But the Kazon attack has damaged our astrometric system. All it will tell me is how far off I am from our target position. I feel like I'm taking shots in the dark. Would you be willing to help me by adjusting the sensor array's pitch, up and down, and yaw, left and right? You can point the array at the target. By adjusting the force, you can change the distance the array examines. Be sure not to overshoot the target location. The array will be useless if that happens.
So clearly we do not want to break the array. Let's see, it's gotta be within 1 kilometer for safe travel. Okay, let's play with the pitch first. I go up, kilometers go down. As long as it keeps going down, we're good. Okay, 5.8 seems to be as good as we're going to get with the pitch there. Let's monkey with the yaw. Alright, y'all. I couldn't help that. 5.8, 6.7, that's clearly the wrong direction. 5 kilometers. 4.2. 3 kilometers. Oh, going back up. Back off. And now to use the force. Increase. Increase. Ding! Lock those coordinates in.
I can't thank you enough
Can
for
we
your
go
help.
now?
Dex is going to be fine. The doctors say she'll be up and around in no time.
That's good news.
I need to return to Voyager. Please escort the Talaxian fleet to New Talix.
We can do that, Admiral.
We can return to Voyager at your earliest convenience. The Talaxians have much to do.
I feel like there should have been one or the other as a closer here, not both. Yep, let's beam up and get ready to check out the theoretical new homeland for the Talaxians. The Talaxians, for those unfamiliar with the lore, had their planet kind of wiped out way before the beginning of the Voyager series. And that was one of the reasons why you didn't run into too many Talaxians. Near the end of Voyager series, Neelix found a bunch of Talaxians setting up a colony and left Voyager to stay with them, which is basically where we picked up here.
Thank you for all you have done for the Talaxians. I believe that they will be a valuable ally to us in the days
Really, in
ahead.
a way, the
That
Talaxian
would not have been
situation
possible
isn't so
without
different
your
than the
assistance.
Romulan
I am
situation
confident
from
we
the
will
beginning
see
of the
one
game
another
here.
again. Until then, live long and prosper.
Romulan homeworld got wiped out. Romulans found a new homeworld, set up a whole new government, in fact. The Talaxians are in a similar situation, although they really don't need to set up a whole... Well, I guess they do kind of need to set up a new government. Although, knowing the Talaxians, it will probably be as chaotic as, well, Neelix himself.
To join us in our new adventure.
On the way. Let's turn it around and join those ships all the way over there.
Are you ready to depart for New Talax?
Let's not jump the gun quite yet. Let's make sure it's safe. Detecting extremely high radiation levels in this system. Too high for a normal dispersal pattern. We'll investigate further, but first, Neelix is hailing us.
Are you detecting the theta radiation spikes? Those levels have been normal and steady for weeks now. What could have happened?
Now, for those who have followed the Voyager series, the words theta radiation do kind of make a blatant hint as to what might have happened. But since it is unlikely that Tel-El has ever seen the Voyager series, we'll do it the other way. Scan radiation. There seems to be a high amount of theta radiation around the planet. You know, I got rid of Tov and Kev off the away team because I got tired of the Captain Obvious details. Yes, I know there's a high amount of theta radiation around here. We scanned that right off the bat. Our scans do indicate that it was recently placed here. It should not be an issue for us to remove them, but we would have to deal with whoever dumped the radiation in the first place. Neelix, does any of this sound vaguely familiar?
Theta radiation could mean only one thing: the Malon. They lack the technology to recycle antimatter waste, which has led them to develop an entire industry around dumping theta radiation in various areas. We can't survive on New Talax if the Malon are going to use it as their personal garbage dump.
Okay, first things first. Need to evaluate the situation. Oh, and I think the situation just got evaluated. Malon vessels. Maybe if we politely tell them to go away.
Unknown vessel. This site is claimed by the Malon. Go find your own dump site.
Now, you know, technically speaking, it's possible the Malon are right. I mean, yeah, the Talaxians have claimed the system, but if the Malon were here first, on the other hand, they didn't find the radiation here on their previous surveys. So I'm inclined to believe the Talaxians on this one.
Why? I was here first. Besides, there's a neutron star near here that makes this the perfect location for our needs. Finding another would be too expensive. Tell the Talaxians to find another planet.
I'm tempted to tell them to get out or I'll make you leave, but unfortunately I did align myself with Starfleet, and therefore I must kind of be agreeable and offer them a chance to go away and, hey, we can help them find another dump site. We've got pretty good mobility. And they're not paying attention. Okay, looks like we need to break their ships instead. Can't destroy them because we don't want to hose their radiation. Let's dump off those mines first. Now, unsurprisingly, they're using their version of warp clouds. Plasma clouds, whatever. They do pack a punch, though. Let's see about... I wonder if I can get any of them to shove into their own plasma clouds. That would be wonderfully ironic. Now they're using tractor beams. That could get ugly. Now, a nice thing about using the mine dispersal abilities is that they pop out a lot more mines than the mines themselves. Okay, looks like the problem is about to resolve itself. Except reinforcements are coming. Of course they are. Okay, let's get the shields shored up a bit before company arrives. And there they are. Frigate and cruiser. Hopefully I can take out the frigate pretty quickly. Then I can just focus on the cruiser. So far so good. If I can hammer down the shields quickly enough. Yeah, so my shields aren't exactly in great shape either. Okay, let's do a little bit of shield work. My shields are still taking a little bit of harm there. Disable them, disable, disable. There we go. And now they've got a battleship. Battle fleet incoming. They do not make this easy, do they?
Enough! You've ruined it. Wrecked my ship.
You know, I seem to hit a glitch here because, technically speaking, that dialogue looks like it should have come up before this battleship. I've already got the disabled battleship already up there, but it's still active. So, as you can see, bugs still happen, even in completed games. Not as bad as some of the ones I've seen in recent weeks, but that content is a lot older. Just kind of get a clear radiation cloud. I prefer the opposition to suffocating from their own toys. They're doing a good job on keeping the shields balanced. And thank God for the Miracle Worker ability, because I would have taken some serious beatings to my, well, I probably would have blown up a few times by now. Okay, that's promising. Not good. Just a little more, and we'll crack it like a thing. No, we're not going to hail the vessel yet, because technically I have not disabled it. I really don't need him interrupting communications by shooting it. It's like that last little bit does not want to go. There we go. Now he qualifies as being saved. Now we'll go.
You've ruined me, wrecked my ship. At least spare my life.
Go take your garbage somewhere else.
The Malon are gone, but the radiation is still around. Oh, what can we do? This would have been a perfect homeworld. But we can't live here if the radiation is going to infect the entire planet.
Not a problem. As representatives of the Romulan Republic, we were pretty familiar with how you could go around cleaning up radiation. We did it on New Romulus. Let's fix up some damage. Starting with this one. Yeah, I think we had those really big animal creatures on the New Romulus. Not the Epos. I can't remember what that big thing in the waterfall was called. But I'm pretty sure they had something to do with the radiation. I guess that really wouldn't be applicable here, I guess. Unless I'm, you know, shooting these critters out into space. What an amusing concept. Nah, Federation folks would have a fit if they thought we were shooting animals out into the void.
Thank you so much for all of your help. You are a true friend to me and to the Talaxian people. Your crew will always be welcome on New Talax. And good luck in your voyages. I hope to see you again soon.
It's been a pleasure. Depart the system. So, hail Delta Command.
The Malon presence concerns me. Is it an isolated incident? Or something more?
I don't know if I can get that
Neelix has
far.
sent word that the migration of the Talaxians is going smoothly. We have sent several ships to ensure that they are protected from any more Malon incursions. We've gained a new ally today, and helped another displaced species find a home. And we'll need all the friends we can get out here.
You're not kidding. So, here we are. We're going to grab the science field generator that helps maximum shield capacity. And we are going to...
It's been more than 30 years since Voyager passed through this region of
Yeah,
space.
we'll come back to that another time. We're going to go to the ship here. We're going to take that console and replace the really old Mark II console that's been sitting there for God knows how long. And say, adios to that. Now, really don't expect enough time to do another mission, although technically the next mission is kind of a set of missions, but I still don't think it will I still think it'll be more than 10 minutes required. So what I'll do instead is take a quick diversion here to something I was alluding to earlier. I had indicated that I have been a lifetime subscriber for pretty much the entire lifetime of this game. And one of the little benefits that we got originally was the ability to create a liberated Borg captain. I think I mentioned that earlier in the stream, in fact. That most liberated Borg you run into were other player captains. Excuse me. Later on, however, like, say, about the time they did Delta Rising, they added the capability to put in another species that you could use as a member, as a lifetime subscriber. And it was the Talaxians. Now, watching Neelix through this episode and the rest of his people, you might be thinking, really? A Talaxian captain? But I took it upon myself. I demanded that I be able to make a Talaxian captain who was a badass. So what we're going to do is we're going to swap this character out briefly and introduce somewhere in here, somewhere deep in here. Where is he hiding? Frolics. This is my answer to those who consider Talaxians hedonistic, heavily indulging their appetite kind of people. Frolics is a Talaxian who's basically chose to join not the Starfleet folks, but folks who are more up to his attitude. Can you still become a lifetime subscriber? I'm pretty sure that the answer is yes. There are periods of time where they put that kind of thing on sale, however, so it's a lesser amount to do the lifetime sub. I have no idea how they figure out what sales to do. Honestly, I would have expected them to have done so in the last month or so, because, you know, holiday season, you'd think that they would have thought this would be a great time to encourage a lifetime sale. But they haven't. But I'm pretty certain that you can do that. Let me see. I'm going to just take a quick stop over on the Star Trek Online site here. Swap over here. Go to games. Star Trek Online. Oh, Offender Gamma Pack. I basically want to get to the game packs here. And unfortunately, they are not giving me the simple method here. I want to go to a list of game packs. And I know it's around here somewhere. Not going to be under charge. It's not going to be under code redemption, I don't think. No. Now I know they have a spot somewhere on here where you can go. Okay, well, now they've got the packs here, but I'm not seeing the lifetime sub on here. It's been a long time since you've logged in. Yeah, I can get that. A lot when you're away for a long time, a lot of things change. Let me see. Maybe there'll be a link here. Haha, here we are. This is the lifetime subscription page, of all places. They put it on a news post. Thank God for STO Wiki. And the perks, you get an additional character slot, you get 30 bonus inventory slots, I don't know how much you get as a free player, so... And since I've never been a free player, I'm a horrible, horrible person to try to figure that out. Can you send that in the Discord, please? No problem. I'll slap that over in the Eternal Riders Discord so that we'll be able to take care of that. I'll take care of that shortly after the stream's over, which will be pretty soon. You'll get 60 bank slots, 20 account shared bank slots, and that one's really useful. Having the ability to share some items between all of your characters, that's a nice ability. You get 2 additional bridge officer slots. Here's a big one, 500 Zen each month. So, if you save it up long enough, well, some of the prices on some things are crazy, so... Well, that's easy enough. Well, I'll demonstrate. I'll go to the C store momentarily. You get more energy credit storage limit, so I think it's like 2 billion or something like that. I'm not sure where it's at. You can refine dilithium every 24 hours, 800 dilithium. That's something I generally tend to ignore because one of the other abilities that's not mentioned on here is that it will automatically refine that 800 for you, as opposed to having to manually do it. You'll get a Captain Retrain token, which is basically something that allows you to respec your skills. Access to a wide variety of rewards, and these are the old veteran rewards that used to exist when subscriptions still existed. Priority login, don't believe that. Access to test servers. You can play as a Liberated Borg or Talaxian race. And I do have a Liberated Borg character as well as the Talaxian. I was just trying to, point out the Talaxian because that was in theme. Access to the captain's table, which is no great shakes, honestly. And whatever their N more is, I wouldn't buy the hype on the N more. Right now it's, well, let's call it $300 and leave it at that. Sales do occasionally happen. I don't know what kind of scheduling, and it lops it down by a third, I think. So it goes down to like $200. And I think that's pretty much where it stands as far as that goes. Now, I was speaking of the C store a moment ago, so let's hop back to the game itself. And since I have this character selected, we'll just go in there. So a whole C. Yes, you can get a Star Citizen concept ship, or you get an existing lifetime subscription to this game. Which is better? I really couldn't evaluate. Ultimately, the question of what's better is whatever you like better. How's that for a dodge? In any event, I guess the best comparison here is with starships. You can get a tier 6 starship for 3,000 Zen. So that's about 6 months of your subscription, or lifetime. 500 a month, multiply it by 6 months, there's your 3,000 Zen. You can get a tier 6 starship, which is kind of the top line right now, except for something else that they recently introduced. This experimental ship upgrade token, which is annoyingly similar to the old Tier 5U days. And I do find it interesting that they allow that to go to that as well. In any event, it'll basically add a device slot to the ship, a console slot, which is considered universal. It'll fit tactical, science, or engineering, or whatever. And it'll give you an additional starship trait slot, which is only available for that upgraded ship, I think. It's possible that if you do this on more than one ship, for all I know, you might be getting effectively 2 traits, but only on ships that have been upgraded. I don't know. I don't have that many. I have exactly one that I applied to one of my ships that we got for free when they introduced this thing. But I swore to myself that I was not going to be buying these things. And so far, I've held firm on that. Now, how often do I buy things on here? Not all that often. You'll see I've got 11,000 sitting here. So I've been sitting on a fair amount, and to be completely honest, part of that was because I spent a very significant chunk of what I'd already had on... Let's see, is it in here? No. Maybe it's under standard bundles then. Mega bundles. Any faction bundles? At one point, they were doing a legendary bundle for the Mirror Universe. And since the uniforms for the Mirror Universe... Ah, here we are. It granted the legendary Dreadnought Destroyer, the various Mirror Universe outfits, including outfits that were only available for Lobby, which you can only get by opening a whole bunch of lockboxes. Since I avoid lockboxes like the plague, well, it was an attractive possibility. Plus, you could rename the ship prefixes to ISS or Mirror Universe versions of the Klingons and the Romulans. So there was enough in it that I was willing to get rid of a large amount of my accumulated Zen to purchase this particular pack. If they ever manage to come out with a legendary Klingon pack that has the Katinga or D7 class starships at tier 6, I will probably go for that too. I've been expecting it because Cryptic has been leaning very hard on the whole year of the Klingon with all their work they've been doing for this year. Revamping the Klingon tutorial, adding in new Klingon episodes, well, Klingon-centric episodes, I should say. I really expected to see a legendary Klingon pack, but it still hasn't happened. They still have time because they started their year of the Klingon late. So technically speaking, the year of the Klingon does not end with 2020. It'll go into 2021. How that works out, who knows? In any case, we are now at the 10 p.m. Eastern hour, and thus at the end of today's stream. Next week, I will be streaming again. Same bat time, same bat channel, as they say. 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. On Wednesday night, we will continue the Delta Rising arc. I also stream Star Citizen on Saturday afternoons from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., where I will be continuing my Aurora MR challenge, even though we've had a patch land that may cause some interesting difficulties, or maybe it'll fix some things, who knows. So, thank you for watching, thank you for joining. I hope you were entertained by the stream. I always endeavor to be at least somewhat entertaining, or at least somewhat amusing with my battling. I'll see you all next time. This is Korath Landwalker, signing off.